What's your name? I didn't get that. No. Forgive me. I didn't realize you were mute. These incredible plans. Me, a poor blind man, and you have a mute. Incredibly big mute. Your hair is frozen, my child. How does a nice bowl of soup sound to you, huh? I know what it means to be cold and hungry. Yes, and how much it means to have a little kindness from a stranger. Are you ready for your soup? Hold out your bowl, then. How much, man? You don't know what your visit means to me. How long I've waited for the pleasure of you. Sometimes in our worldly lives, we tend to forget the simple pleasure. And now, a little wine with your soup. Wait. A toast. Toast to long friendship. How hungry you must have been. Now for a little surprise. For a special occasion I've been saving. Cigars.
Oh my God.
Fire is good. Fire is good. Yes, fire is our friend. Yes. I'll show you. You see. You have your cigar. Let me see.
Oh my God.
Wait! Where are you going? I was going to make espresso.
So, anybody know who that actor was?
Gene Hackman.
Thanks for raising your hand. And, 1974, that was a really important year for me because that was when two of my most successful movies came out, Blazing Saddles and Young Frankenstein. And that also became a trend, like in my comedy, the idea of a parody, which is basically taking a serious drama or something of that sort and just turning it and making your own funny spin on it, which is what I did for the majority of my movies. And that trend continued in 1977 when I released the movie High Anxiety.
Didn't you fill all the major positions of writer, director, actor, and producer for that film?
I did. That's not often that you see one person has that much control over a movie because, then there's so much they can do with it without, anything happening to them. And that was also important for me because that was the first movie I produced, and that led to the creation of my production company, Brooks Films, in 1980, which went on to produce all of my movies along with some other important ones. And then in 1981, which we took a look at before, I released History of the World Part 1. And that was really my last movie that the critics, anyway, accepted as successful and funny. And then in 1987, I did my Star Wars parody, Spaceballs. And, the critics really were not fans of that one. But one day, George Lucas, the director of Star Wars, came up to me and he said, that was the funniest thing I've seen in a long time. And, that really did it all for me. As long as I think it's funny and I see at least one other person laughing, to me, it's a successful comedy. And then in the 90s, my first film was in 1991, Life Stinks. And that is, to this day, the only work I've ever done where I've agreed with a critic. And I actually wrote back to a critic and said, you know, you were right about this movie. It's not life that stinks, it's this movie that stinks. And you know, after that, I got a little better. I made two of my personal favorites. The first in 1993, Robin Hood Men in Tights, and the second in 1995, Dracula Dead and Loving It. So, if we have time,
I think we're gonna have it.
all right. Well, that's all right.
Better
man.
wrap
Yeah,
it
go
up.
home, watch those on your own. They're hilarious, I think, anyway. And yeah, exactly.
Anything else to say? Wind it up.
And you know, and then you know, recently I've just been going back to my my old work. You know, I helped write the movie Get Smart based on my old TV series. I did the remake of The Producers in 2002. And most recently, I brought Young Frankenstein to Broadway, which I'm so happy about. And you know, so I'm 82 years old now. We'll see what's next for me, you know, in my career. But as one of my heroes, Groucho Marx used to say, I intend to live forever or die trying.